Welcome back, fellow builders. The plan was to do a showcase of my completed mech build, but ran into some issues and it turns out I've got some more work ahead of me. Let's get into it. Alright, so the main issue I encountered with the original leg design was that of stability. I'm gonna put up another video to kind of show you what was going on with it when he was fully standing up and I was moving it back and forth. You see there's a little bit of play here, right? And I'm gonna try to pull up another clip so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. That play in the leg was really not helping with the stability, right? And what was going on was that when he was standing straight up, he would tend to rock back and forth. It seemed unstable. It just wasn't a good look, right? So I had to once again go back to formula. Okay, if you know the Spider-Man reference, you get it. So this initial leg design, which is really a revision of the very first one I had done, has the gears in here behind the knee. We've got the back piston as sort of additional support here. We've got the double ball joint down in the ankle, and that front part serves as a pivot point by which this is resting. So that's the, we get some decent range of motion here, right? Pretty decent. Liked it. I like the design, but just again, the way this was sitting on here, this was just not stable, right? Not a good thing to do. So instead, we have the first variation, which is this leg right here. This one, and actually, let me go ahead and pop this off real quick. Okay, set him down. So this leg design is very similar to that first one I showed you. We still have the gears behind the knees here with the sort of the quad ball joint for the double pivot, so you can get that nice double knee situation going on there. You see it's a little bit tighter on this one, and that was also nice, right? It's keeping with the back piston, right, in the calf area, double ball joint down here, but I've sort of flipped it around, so it's a ball on the bottom and then the socket above it for the front, and then the reverse on the back, right? And so that's how that's set up here. Not a huge difference, but it was nice. It actually lended itself really well to this design, and as you can see, I'm using some brackets in here to enclose the front of the lower leg portion and the sides, and so that wraps around, and that's basically how I get that structure together. It feels a little bit more solid in there than that first one did. The first one had a little bit of rock to it. Let me show you here. So here, the way this was set up, you had a little bit of wiggle, right? And maybe that didn't help with the stability either. But this one, you don't have that. It's in there pretty solid. And it's really just using tension of the brackets to keep that in place. And again, the nice thing about this is that that range of motion, I think, is actually a little bit better than the first one. So here's that first one again, okay, you can see side by side there. It's similar, but I feel like this one's a little bit better, just a little bit, than that first design, right? And we're keeping that same, we've got the same toe bend here, all that good stuff, nice little ankle guard here, and I've moved the sort of the car mud flap or fender down over here to the bottom rather than the top, and got this sort of kneecap design going on here. And I like this, actually. I like the black and white color scheme. The thigh design was changed up, and all sort of seamlessly sort of flows in together, and I feel like it's a nice design. All right, so here is the last revision of the leg. I'm saying it like that because who knows, I might end up redoing it again, right? And it's in a sort of a workable form right now. These are not final colors. I'm not going to leave this this red in here. If I do keep this, I'm going to switch that all to white, and that gray will be white as well, to get the final colors on there. But this was the version of the leg that I was really happy about, and liked from both an aesthetic standpoint and also the technical sort of engineering behind it. What I did was inside here, I flipped around the piston and the pivot portion of the leg. So inside here, you can kind of see it going like that. This front ball joint is actually where the piston is. So the piston is actually in the front this time. And by flipping it around, I was able to, I think, make it a little bit more compact inside here, even though that doesn't necessarily reflect on the design from the back. This is not only this is the main connection point for this leg upon which everything else is built. So this kind of needs to be here in some fashion. I would say that would be like a downside of this particular design. It's really hinging upon this brick being here. And then a lot of the inside of this is actually brackets that are being sort of putting tension on the pieces inside to stay in place. But it still works. It works out pretty well. And I get this great range of motion just like before. You see I've changed up the design of the sort of the ankle guard here. This is probably a little bit more Gundam-like in the design. It's got a little pivot here. And I can still get the toe bend on this guy. So you can still go up 2 clicks for the toe bend, right? This doesn't interfere with that. You still go down on the toe bend. So we still got that, no problem. We got the side-to-side motion, right? So pretty great range there, right? Got front, stops there. You got the back. So this is all good stuff. You got a little bit of rotation on that. This is all great. The really nice thing about this design, though, is this right here. Okay. That was the really nice thing about this particular design. This knee extension, I mean, you can see, like, that's touching here, right? So as opposed to before, where we have this guy, and he stops about there, and you see it's being stopped by the piston, which is why I had the idea to flip this around to reverse it. And by reversing it, that cleared up all this space back here for the thigh to actually rest against the back of the leg, and now you've got that nice deep extension. Now, I just really like that about that, just from an articulation standpoint. I'm not sure 100% how many poses that's going to really be useful in. I'm sure when he's crouching, if we're going to have to obviously put him in the 3-point landing superhero pose, right? So this would be great for that. It's not that this one didn't necessarily work for that, because I was able to do some poses with it. And actually I have a photo of him in with his legs crossed in the seated position. But this is just giving me a bit more range of motion here. And the leg design, I do like it. Again, just from a visual standpoint, I changed up the knee here. So it's got a larger knee portion on there. And I was just trying to play with the idea of the knee being a 2-portion thing, where the knee guard comes up, kind of covers the thigh a little bit, just like it would on an actual Gundam. And then you've got the lower portion of that leg guard sort of right in front of the shin here, right, at the top. And then of course when you get the spin, you get this nice little visual. So it's pretty cool. I do like it. But I just can't 100% decide, because this definitely feels bulkier, right, visually, than this one does. This one feels lighter, feels a little bit more, let's say, aggressive, a little. I'm not sure how to describe it. It just feels nice. I like it a lot. But I like this one too. And so that's my dilemma. I cannot decide between these two. I feel like I'm gonna end up choosing this guy over here just because I really do like it quite a lot over this one, because I've seen, I guess I've done something kind of like this before. Oh, that popped off. Maybe that's hey, there you go. Maybe that's the reason I don't go with that one, because it popped off. But either way, yeah, I really do like this one. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, guys, is figuring that out. If I'm going to continue with this one, and if I do, what variations am I going to make to it? You know what? Maybe I'll just do like a hybrid, right? Maybe I'll keep this overall design, but bring over some, from a mechanical standpoint, bring over some design elements from this side. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's the true answer. The thigh portions are great. I do like those, the shaping of those and everything. That's being fine. I may add some more plates to that. We'll see. But overall, I'm liking it.